Hello everyone, welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce and welcome to SST Edupedia. I am Assistant Professor Manmeet Kaur, taking the session of Foundation Course Semester 2 for first year BMS, BAF and BCBI. Today we are starting with our Module 3 of Ecology. So, ecology and environment are a relative concept. In this module, we will learn about man-made, social, political, economical and technological environment which reflects the environment, ecosystem, the structure and its component, food chain, pyramid and how the degradation happens and the impact of it, and at the end how we balance and manage by sustainable development of environment considering its components. So let's start with ecology and environment. Ecology is the study of the environment and helps us to understand how different organisms of the environment operates that live with each other in unique structures of physical environment. An ecologist studies the relationship between living and non-living things, mostly how living things transit from one stage to another, their survivals, their habitants and etc. In order to learn about natural environment, the ecologist must study the multiple aspects which consider each other and dependent on each other. Human activity plays an important role in the health of ecosystems, how we as human beings operate and manage the environment, we support or not, we see all these ecosystem components in our environment. The factors of our human activities like pollution, degradation, deforestation impacts the environment on large scale. It can contaminate the food supply for species also. It can potentially increase the impact or can reduce or harm the ecology. Introducing new species from another part of the world into an unfamiliar environment can have unintended and negative impacts. If we unnecessarily impact or do harmful things for the environment, that will not only harm the ecosystem but it will be a negative impact on our lifestyle also. As you can see, the humidity, the summer season has come with large impact on the environment and it is really hot, which has impacted the different sectors of ecosystem. It is difficult to manage the things. Natural predators also suffers because of this. The addition or subtraction of single species from the ecosystem will impact the whole structure of our ecosystem or environment. Geographical environment is also called as a natural environment as it interacts with the earth, the special structure, river, mountain and other sectors like water and oceans, volcanoes, whatever these things happen, these impact the whole environment. We have man-made environment which is considered to be made by man. It cannot directly survive in the natural environment. So we structure our habitant in such a way, such as we make our houses, we supply, we have sufficient supply of water, food by different kind of resources. So man cannot directly live in natural environment, so he creates some environmental conditions, some comfortable environmental conditions for himself to adjust to the natural conditions. He creates some of his man-made environment which can contain social environment also for socially involving in the environment. The inner environment in it has endures as long as society cherishes. So we have to make sure that our society and our man-made environment both work hand in hand, both needs to be balanced. The inner environment has a profound impact on human lives. The inner environment is often called as social heritage, where we communicate, we meet each other, we are considered as important aspects to exist in the environment. The outer environment is physical environment that man has created on his own with evolving technology and science, with the help of technology and science. It is a modification of physical environment with our natural environment. So the physical environment helps us to cope with the environment, where natural environment, for example, because of the sun, it is difficult for us to stand outside to do our regular activities. For that purpose, to be saved from the sunlight directly, we opt for indoors activity. We work in the particular environment where it is comfortable for us, it is not hot, we are able to sit and do our activities. So outer environment directly can't be used by us. So we as human beings, we have created our environment which is comfortable for our endurance. Enmities we have added into it, provided that the social and individual level, where transportation, communication, all these amenities or aids has helped us to for the survival. Political environment that consists of the government affairs or the government authorities, which helps for the regulations, rules and regulations which they create, and at the end we have to follow and endure it. The term economic environment indicates all the external economic circumstances where our financial budget, our financial cycle suffers or has direct impact, because we as human being does work, or we are somewhere or the other employed somewhere for earning purpose to satisfy our and our family's needs. So economic environment affects us. Economic environment comprises in external environment. So ecosystem structure and its component is explained here. Abiotic components are climatic components which are not under our control, whereas biotic components are producers, consumers and decomposers, which on the cycle of food chain or the whole cycle or pyramid we will learn in further slides. So here again, composers, producers, decomposers are connected. This food chain explains how the grass is eaten by the grasshopper, then mice or rat eats the grasshopper, and the food chain continues as the snake or the higher level predator eats the mice, and at the end the snake is eaten by the eagle. So in this way a small food chain has been explained, which tells you that they are, all the components of ecosystem are interrelated and are connected to each other, dependent on each other. Wherever one component fails, the other components are affected. Here ecological pyramid, a pyramid also known as tropical pyramid, is the energy pyramid also. The pyramid here is dependent, as one component depends on the other. Here the producers are eaten by the primary consumers such as rabbits or rats, then secondary components like snakes, they are again eaten by the tertiary consumers, and all of these at the end are the composers. Environmental degradation and its impact. The environmental degradation is a process through which the natural environment is composed in some or the other way. At the end everything ends. So the environment or the components, few components of the environment decomposes like this. The degradation means we harm the environment in some or the other way, by reducing the biological diversity, the general health of the environment and its components. Even our as human beings are affected over here. The process can be entirely natural in the origin, or it can constitute some man-made activities which harm it. Many international organizations recognize environmental degradation as major threat for the environment, because Earth operates according to our activities. If we in some or the other way harm the environment, it obviously impacts the environment as whole. And if the environment becomes irreparable, then we are in major danger. The causes of environmental degradation can be overpopulation, where we populate the situation or the location in higher scale; deforestation, where we cut down the forests for our accommodation, for urbanization mainly; landfills, consumption behavior is harmful because the consumption level increases; waste production, we accommodate the waste in some or the other location which is not healthy. Sometimes we, in the dump yards, we burn the garbage which emits the harmful gases which are unhealthy for our physical health. Lack of education towards the decomposition or the degradation, what things are harmful for us, we should be well aware of it. Illegal dumping, as I said, they dump the waste anywhere and then they burn it, it is harmful. Agriculture, population and pollution, the agricultural farmers, the activities by them, even the waste of agricultural part is not decomposed or composed properly. It can be reused properly, but many people or many farmers have no knowledge about that, so it is dumped very in a wrong way, which leads to pollution. Littering, mining and plastic population, increasing the pollution with the use of plastic and the harmful use of plastic has increased. Reduced in resources availability, the resources are not available as they used to be. We have harmed by our activities the natural resources that we have. So all these things and many more activities can be the causes. We can learn about the effects that it holds on environment which impacts us is acid rain, the rain which happens without any season, which is harmful, which increase the humidity or harms the environment for us to live. Floods, landslides, soil erosion. If we use more chemical type of fertilizers for more output from agricultural activities, it at the end affects the quality or the efficiency of agricultural output, so that impacts or leads to soil erosion. Natural disasters, global warming has, you have seen or noticed that it has increased immensely. Loss of livelihood of many people, the livelihood or the job structure of many people has lost. Wars are happening because of the resources, scarcity of resources, spread of diseases. Diseases are spreading on large scale which are not under our control. What we can do is take care of our health and eat healthy and be healthy. Loss in tourism, the tourism also has immensely dropped because of these conditions. We can see the solutions that we can create for this is stop deforestation. The forestation that has increased for urbanization, we can put an hold on it and see for another solutions, another ways for our habitant. High fines for illegal dumping can be set as their punishments, or fine penalties can be kept. Stricter government regulations, natural reserves and biotopes. The reserves, the zoos and natural sanctuaries are there to preserve the natural ecosystem. Reduce in waste production, all kind of waste, be it man-made, natural, agricultural, the waste pollution that we make should be reduced. We should have solutions for those activities. Refrain from plastic packaging and disposal of it. The disposable system of plastic should be kindly and majorly monitored. Education, awareness for the particular things which are happening because of degradation of environment. We should educate the population, and we should as much as possible stop the harmful effect on it, and we should be able to spread the awareness in such a way that all of us should unite and work towards an healthy environment. So working towards a healthy environment, we have developed sustainable development, which means in this module, these are the goals. 17 goals are set by the government, in which we try to cover all the aspects of ecosystem or environment, and we try to sustain or maintain, or I can say preserve, control, protect the environment at large. Sustainable goals, as I said, there are 17 in number. We can learn it in one by one session. No poverty, the poverty and hunger things are to be controlled. Government has taken steps to give work opportunities to everyone so that they can earn some kind of earning, and with that they can satisfy their food and shelter needs, good health and well-being, with that quality education and gender equality in workspace or in educational or domestic terms, clean water and sanitization, affordable clean energy for everyone, decent work and economic growth for everyone. Here also equality is expected. Industry, innovation and infrastructure. Three of these activities are connected to each other, which leads to development of economic sector. Reduced inequality, sustainable cities. The cities in the country should be of such kind where population is controlled, pollution is monitored properly, no kind of waste is harmful for the environment. Responsible production and consumption. Climate action, we should make our efforts in such a way that climate is not harmed with our activities. Life below water means water bodies and their living activities. Biology against the water should be preserved. Life on land and underwater should be protected and conserved. Peace and justice and partnership for goals. For the motive of development of individual and overall society, the goal is to be made in such a way that it should be considered as well-being for everyone. Peace and justice should be there. So in this chart, I have tried to explain then when environment, ecology, economy and society, the three of these aspects are in proper proportion, and when they meet in a proper proportion, the sustainable development happens in all the sectors. So we have to work towards that way, that all three of these aspects meet in a proper proportion and they make a sustainable development for everyone. We have completed our module 3 of ecology. Thank you.